right. All right. So if you are sitting at your desk and your feet are down, remember to have them about a hip's width apart. Hands just resting in your lap. Shoulders aligned with your hips. And try and sit on top of your sits bones if that's comfortable for you. And maybe on top of a little cushion, even if you are sitting in a chair, you can maybe have, I just have this little cushion here that I put underneath my coccyx, and it just tilts the pelvis just enough to help straighten the spine. You'll find it's a lot more comfortable to sit like that. Shoulders aligned with the hips, and imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light that stretch from the base all the way up through to the crown of the head and beyond. Just imagine you're lengthening your spine. Ears aligned with the shoulders as best you can, a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Bring your attention to the crown. Maybe you can feel some sensation there, maybe not. Just relax your scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the eyebrows, the eyelashes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. Relax the jaw, the back of the tongue, back of the head. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. Notice the sensations of the breath as you inhale and exhale. And then be aware of any sounds in your environment, just allowing those sounds to be there, trying not to follow or investigate with the mind. You can do the same thing for anything that you might be smelling. And then just check in with yourself, Hi, how are you? How are you doing this evening? What's going on in the mind? And then have this attitude of curiosity and observation. Just generating some level of awareness around the things that are arising in our mind. And sometimes we're so convinced that we're right about things. It's good often to just question everything that's in our mind, or to not believe everything we think, particularly when it comes to some kind of self-deprecating ideas, some negativity towards our self-criticism. Bring to mind all the people of your life. So you can think about these people that you love so dearly, these people that have so much meaning for us in our life. We have our strangers. the ones we don't know, but we see, we maybe run into, maybe talk to for 5 minutes, chat about the dog, the ones that we see even more briefly in cars that pass us, people we walk past in the supermarket. And then there's these people in our life we don't like very much, or we don't trust, or they make us feel uncomfortable in some way. And just remember that these relationships can be interchangeable. And they're all equal. They're the same as you and me because everybody wants to be happy. No one wants to suffer. And everyone does have this extraordinary capacity for Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life. And by extension, all sentient beings. I remember I forgot when Nicole, who's actually in North Carolina, came on Tuesday morning to meditate. I forgot to mention the people in Northern Carolina. There seems to be quite a bit of suffering up there, and then a lot of misinformation as well, by the sounds of it. So the authorities are having difficulty doing their job, which just sounds very difficult. So for all those different layers of difficulty, which probably are existing all over the world, including in places that are war zones, places where there's a lot of fighting, bombs and guns. Extremely difficult. So just spare a thought for all these people that you've read about or heard about. So remember, there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind. So equally, we can create positivity. And we can change it. We can change our minds to become more positive. And it's what we're doing in this practice every night, 5 nights a week. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this life, in future lives, or past lives, I beg your pardon, on this day, in this life, in any of our past lives. You can actually also think about the future. You know, you can, if as they say, time is not linear, you don't know. So maybe just include everything. Just include everything. Everything that you've done in the past and that you have the potential to do. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to heal ourselves. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long. They're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being cross represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And so here we have this idea about developing compassion. So we also need to rely upon other beings in order to develop compassion. So to develop a wish for them to be free from suffering. So we think about the beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. And just in your mind, think, I wish you to be free from suffering. And think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So have a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the benefit of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is this purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech, the useless speech, and the lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, all our inappropriate speech. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta meboa sawa sidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawa sidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. The next is purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine you've walked into a room and the light, it's dark, the light's off, you flick on the switch, and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. And so think of the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachments, neediness, bitterness, grudges, anxiety, jealousy, depression, all of this instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorekta meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiata Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shiam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe, and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasafa Dina Patita, Jida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorekta meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiata Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawa Sidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is this purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine that Vajrasattva very compassionately, very happily sends light and nectar, and this fills you completely. And it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Humpe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Humpe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Humpe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Humpe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Humpe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Humpe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified and there's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this decision, we also just decide, make a decision. Because without it, nothing's going to happen. So it's got to be something that you actually want to do. And I guess for everyone that's here, it is something you want to do, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So then rejoice in your efforts. And then think of something that you've been working on that you would like to continue to work on. And, as I said before, maybe journal it, journal your progress, and then every now and then look back and see, where you're at now. Maybe you're refining some of those things that you've been working on, just creating, a deeper awareness. Imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with you, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness, and he would say like this: in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma, there is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think that the way things appear to me may not be necessarily the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri. Aware of all the aptitudes of beings, while captivating every creature's mind with insight into aggregated natures, himself with fully pure five aggregates, atop the peak of every going forth, most skilled in going forth in every way, established on all paths of going forth, the teacher of all forms of going forth, uprooting all becoming with 12 links, endowed with purity in all 12 forms, has formed the way of fourfold noble truth with realizations of the eightfold knowledge. Okay, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Like I said last night, one day I'll be saying, they found a child somewhere. And then for all of your own personal teachers, the Geshis, the Western teachers, whoever it is you see as being helpful to you in your life. All right, everyone. Thank you so much, Bill, for hosting, or Shayla, whoever it was. Was it both of you or one of you? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, Shayla, we have the thumbs up to do a Tara Puja on Sunday. So everybody, if you want to come and do Tara Puja. Yeah, we're going to do Tara Puja on Sunday because I forgot about it on Thursday because I was swimming. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, everybody. So we're going to do it Sunday now. Yeah, I hope you can.